Cowboys are in a very precarious situation because they find themselves in a very similar situation to where they were 4 years ago. Dak Prescott going into the final year of his contract.
Yeah.
That time they franchised him, made him play on a franchise tag, thought about franchising again to give him a long-term deal. So here we are again.
Yep.
What is it that Dak needs to do? What is it that Dak hasn't done to convince the Cowboys? Because clearly they're not convinced. Because Jerry said it after. We're only going to go as far as Dak carry us, and this was as far as he could carry us. What are you seeing from Dak? What's going on with Dak? What's going on with the Cowboys offense that in big games, he doesn't play his best?
This message is to Dak Prescott. We looking for that motherfucking dog.
What?
And I don't think Jerry Jones will allow him to become that.
Uh-oh.
Because you got to be politically correct.
He
You
ain't
got to
lying.
be almost the president of football, almost, to be the signal caller for the Dallas Cowboys. What Dallas Cowboys need at that quarterback position is somebody to say, nah, fuck that.
Come on with it.
It's my shit. This is what we gonna do. I hear all that. But we trying to win. We trying to win, yes or no? Okay, cool. Now unleash me and let me win this football game.
Man.
That type of aura, I don't think Dak can be that.
No, because Jerry wants to win his way.
Just see.
Jerry wants to win his way. And these are the things that I've been saying for a long time. And if you go back and listen to what I said last season, all the way up until after the 49ers game, I said, man, Dak Prescott is playing this game like he got his parents in the car driving with him and he's driving, right? And they're saying, no, hey, make sure you got your seatbelt on. Make sure you turn with your turning signal on. He was not allowed to do him. And then afterwards, and also my guy CeeDee Lamb, he spoke out and he said pretty much in so many words, give me the ball. And they open up the offense just enough. Now, how far can Dakota Prescott take and carry this team? I think he can carry this team to the playoffs. I truly believe there's historical data that shows and present and prove that. Now, I think also when you have running approach in the playoff game, he can manage that. But far as taking over and winning the playoff game by himself, I will tell you guys the 1,000,000% truth. I don't think Dak Prescott can do it and win it by himself. I don't think he can. And so many people are fighting the movable target or the movement of the argument saying, Pat Mahomes, where there's only 3% chance that you can find another Pat Mahomes. And Pat Mahomes, of course, 31 other teams would love to have a Pat Mahomes, by the way. And there's only one of them, right? But even with Pat Mahomes, you got defense that's to help him out in the postseason, as well as you got Andy Reid and Travis Kelce. It wasn't just Pat Mahomes by himself, by the way. And excuse me, so many people are leaving out Chris Jones because I'm quite sure he's a 3-time Super Bowl champ too, by the way, on that defensive side of the coin. But that's a whole nother conversation for the nation. I'm so glad that Cam spoke his mind about this, and it's the truth. Dak Prescott, he got to stop having that little brother's mentality, and I know, shout out to Tad Prescott, but what I'm saying is Dak Prescott got to go into this particular room and say, this is my team. And Jerry Jones, he got to stand tall and firm with those boys and say, hey, I can win you games, yes, but I need help in order to win you games in postseason. I need a run game. There's nothing wrong with asking for things. There's nothing wrong with saying that you need a little help. And excuse me, the 5 Super Bowls that the Cowboys ultimately won, let me know. Did Roger Staubach, or was he able to win it without a running game? Was he able to win it without the doomsday defense? And excuse me, the legacy, and all beyond of what the 90s exhibit and exude. How many Super Bowls do Troy Aikman got without an Emmitt Smith and the playmaker? I'll wait. And on top of that, to sprinkle some icing and cherry on the top, where was the 90s ranked defense at too, by the way? You know, I need to know that too. It's not like the 90s defense were top 15, top 20. No, those boys were number 1, number 2, and number 3 respectfully at defense. Defense win championships too, by the way. But what I'm saying is, if you putting everything on the shoulders of Dak Prescott, you will come up a little bit short. You need a complete team, and that's what I'm saying. A complete team as relates to run game and also stopping the run. And Dak Prescott, he's not faultless with this because he himself can't turn the ball over. He can't force things where they don't belong. That's all I'm saying.
See what I'm saying? So those are going to be very combative forces that I don't know if they can get to that next level.
I know a guy that played quarterback that didn't win nearly as much. Dak probably has won more playoff games than him, and he never had to worry about a contract. The guy that Dak
Come on now.
came after.
Tony
What's what I'm saying?
Romo. Come on, man.
I mean, am I missing?
For the people, we keeping it a buck now.
He
Who
gonna
you
tip-
talking
he
about?
gonna
So,
sip some of that
so the
drink.
people will know.
All I know is Tony Romo was made the highest paid quarterback in football with no Super Bowls, no NFC Championship games, no first team All Pro, no second team All Pros. He ain't never had to worry about a contract.
And when he's done playing, he gets a deal that nobody else gets.
Hey, I ain't going to even dive into the Tony Romo thing because that's going to miss a lot of people with a whole bunch of other things. But what I'm saying is the concentration for the nation is on Dak Prescott. Right. And I get it. You know, the Jones family, they don't like Tony Romo. They love Tony Romo. And Tony Romo loved the Joneses. I believe he named one of his son Jones Romo or something like that. So we get all of that. And I'm not finna sit back and say, and I heard some things that Dak don't go to those fancy trips. He don't go to the boat trips with the Jones family or sail across the world to one of those islands. He just don't do that. So that's a whole bunch of other conversations, no Diddy, that I'm not finna get into. But all I'm going to say here, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final year of it all. And if the Cowboys want to keep Dak, they will figure it out. And if Dak goes to another team, it will be primarily based upon what he do this season, the 2024 season. So at the end of the day, shout out to Cam Newton, shout out to Shay Shay for this podcast for breaking that part down. Hey, let me know how y'all feel about everything. Granted, there will still be some saying that Dak Prescott had everything. Dak Prescott had 9 All-Pros, man, including him. You know, he was one of the All-Pros, so it was 9 of them, you know, and they still couldn't win. Let me know out of those 9 All-Pros who could stop the run and who could absolutely run the ball. Hey, that's all I'm saying. And then here's the other point that a lot of people like to call out and say, well, hey, Law, hey, when Zeke was here, you know what happened then? They had Jason Garrett as their head coach. Those are truths. These are not excuses. These are facts that nobody wants to hear. And excuse me, for what I know is that even Peyton Manning, it took him a long time to get over that hump. Yes, indeed. And he had nothing but studs on the offensive side. And one can argue better coaching. Oh, yeah. And I'm not comparing, but I am to a degree. But I'm not comparing Peyton Manning to Dak Prescott. But let me know who was Edgerrin James, Dallas Clark, Wayne and things, and Marvin Harrison, and they couldn't get over the hump. Oh, yeah, Jeff Saturday and beyond. The name is longer than Shaq feet on all of the weaponry that he had. On top of that, he didn't have a Jason Garrett there. And it took him a long time. Granted, give me that coaching staff juxtaposed to what we had over here. Come on, man. That's been my time. Post me your thoughts. Post me your concerns down below. DC for life. Let's get it one way or another. Peace.